Now I want you to clearly look up here. It says, is at UPS supposed to carry official election material? Because I and 3 #domain watchers volunteers saw a UPS truck picking up ballots of boxes marked official absentee from, now check out where from the Secretary of State warehouse. The Secretary of State's warehouse. Wow. Nothing to see here, folks.
And we're out of cardboard again, so we can't see you. Same location.
Wow. This was fraud.
Boxes being loaded.
Barr, what the hell are you doing sitting on your ass not thinking this ain't fraud? Man, Barr, how much more evidence do you need, Barr? Wow. And again, UPS truck picking up ballots of boxes marked official absentee from, and this is where they were coming from, the Secretary of State's warehouse. Are you kidding me? Exclusive UPS FedEx warned they cannot carry ballots like U.S. Postal Service. United Postal Service and FedEx on Friday shot down social media calls that they step into deliver mail-in ballots from the U.S. Postal Service. Wow. These are the official, look at this, absentee ballot instructions. Wow. My God, Barr, really? Really now? Look here. Now pay attention. Since Georgia's Secretary of State employees keep using cardboard to block the view of their loading dock, I bought a 7-foot... Oh, look at this. Oh my God. Oh my God. The boxes do have UPS labels. I'll be damned. Look at this. He ain't gonna hide nothing. Wow. I hope they all know they're in trouble for fraud and treason. That's what needs to be said. Every one of them are in trouble for fraud and treason. What are they going to tell their families? What are they going to tell their children? What are they going to tell their mom and dads? What are they going to tell? What are they going to tell? Pieces of crap. Hope he got paid well. Wow. It's messed up. He sees that camera too. Yeah, you getting caught, buddy. How do you feel about fraud in your election of the world, of this country? How do you feel fraud in the Constitution of the United States of America, buddy? Jesus, you can't make this up. Wow. He gonna go get somebody because he can't stand it. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a lot of ballots. That's too many ballots. Oh, he gonna start, what's he? And that's doing what, dude? You the one frauding the election, not him. Ugh, makes me mad. You're breaking the law, dude. Both of you guys. You're breaking the law. I hope we get their names. Wow. And I agree. How can we certify this election knowing all this fraud's going on? How can we do that? You know, our congressmen and our senators better wake the hell up that we know. They're pissing the American people off. And only one is void. These torn up recount batch forms were collected from the dumpster. God. So, Barr, what part of this are you not understanding? That's fraud. What part? What part are you not seeing fraud? Or have you even done an investigation? God, this makes me mad.
Just make a very short argument. I read your motion. I've also read the opposition. So just go ahead and make a short argument in respect to your motion to strike.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you for the opportunity to appear remotely. And just for the record, Bradley Schrager, local counsel, is on the line as well, and my partner, Mark Elias, is as well. Mr. Cancel's supplemental declaration should be rejected for three different reasons, Your Honor. First, it's untimely. Expert disclosures are to be accompanied by a written report. At the time the disclosure is made, Your Honor set that deadline for last Friday. There was no such supplemental report filed. In fact, it was not even produced to the defendants until after the deadline for filing all of the evidence to be considered by the court here today. So for that reason, it should be excluded. Number two, and we've addressed this in some length in the trial brief, Mr. Kemsall is not a qualified expert by any stretch. He, by his own admission and is physically demonstrated in his CV, he has spent the majority of his career working for the Republican National Committee as a political operative. He has never taught, has no advanced degrees at any college or university, is not familiar with scholarly use of statistics, and in fact didn't do most of the mail work himself that underlies this analysis. And finally, Your Honor, and for the third reason, the declaration is simply irrelevant and unreliable because it has no sound methodological foundation, and by its own admission, the supplemental declaration falls far short of satisfying the requirements that might allow it to be admitted. There's a matching between certain files produced by the Department of Motor Vehicles and voter files, but even he admits that it's only matched on part of the name. So a single member of a household could be a non-U.S. citizen living with several other U.S. citizens, and Mr. Cancel has no way of distinguishing between any of them. So for all three reasons, Your Honor, I think the supplemental declaration should be rejected by the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Jesse Banal on behalf of the contestants. The motion to strike should be denied for the reasons that we laid out in our filings on this matter. As to the specific positions just laid out by the defendants, I'll also start on the timeliness of the filing. The information that this was based on, that Mr. Camsel's supplemental affidavit is based on, is data that was retrieved from the Department of Motor Vehicles at about 2 o'clock p.m. on Monday, pursuant to a subpoena. This is one of the few instances where it's data that was discovered not by extrajudicial discovery in our case, but actually using more of a formal discovery process, because that's the only way we could receive this information. And as soon as we received this information, it was passed along to the data scientist for comparison with the list of people who had voted. What we, of course, learned then is that approximately, it appears from the expert report, about 4,000 non-citizens voted in this election, 4,000 additional people that are not authorized to vote in the 2020 election. Mr. Kim?
What about the court's ruling and order that basically all witnesses had to be disclosed by the consensus by 5 o'clock on November 25th, 2020.
Your Honor,
I understand something comes up, and I understand things move up, but is it fair to the defense and suddenly to bring this in at the last minute?
Your Honor, it was information that there's no other way that we could have gotten, and there's the idea that you always seasonally supplement, and that's exactly what we did in this case. This litigation is especially truncated, and it has to be that way. We understand that. But data that there's no way for us to have had at that deadline that the court set. That's why the court has discretion in these situations to say that since there's no possible way that we could have had this information by November the 25th, there's no way that we could have produced this specific information. We did tell them that Jesse Kamsel was going to be a witness in this case, and indeed, he did give deposition testimony in this case. He gave deposition testimony in this case on other data information that came out within, I think, about, at roughly the same exact time as this information was produced to us by the Department of Motor Vehicles.
What about the requirements of NRS 293.415 that basically this matter be heard upon deposition and argument? They have no ability, basically, to cross-examine him on this new additional material. No ability at all to question his methods or methodology in respect to that new material. Is that fair?
Your Honor, I understand the court's position on that, and I would say that the better remedy that would meet the interests of justice on this is to allow them to do just that after argument, to allow them, we can do that tomorrow, we can do that this evening, and then we can submit the deposition supplementally to the court for its decision. That would be something that could meet the interests of justice to still allow them to cross-examine Mr. Kamsel on these issues without denying us any reasonable means of bringing this to the court's attention, since there's no other way that we could have gotten this and to submitted it to them any earlier. We literally submitted this at the earliest moment we could have in order of getting the data, comparing the data, producing a very short report explaining how the data was compared, and then providing it to the defendants. They should have the ability, but they certainly have the resources available in a document subpoena situation to use their own experts, their own resources to compare this data and say if they think that we got anything wrong, that it's fewer than 4,000 non-citizens who voted in this case. They haven't done that yet. They've had, at this point, a similar amount of time that we've had to do this, and they haven't done that. But if they want the opportunity to depose Mr. Kamsel on that, we'll make him available for a deposition, a very short deposition after this.
I will put down in the comment section this video for sure.
So the Republican observers said they were the last people to leave State Farm Arena along with the Fox News crew, excepting those 4 people. So what you're going to see, look at the ladies in yellow. You'll see that they will begin just sitting still, doing nothing, ostensibly not working, because after all, they said they're going to stop counting. They will wait until the witnesses over there in that roped off area, the press and the observers, leave the room. Then you'll see them move into action and begin scanning ballots. Okay, so I think what we can do now is fast forward to about...
Make a bigger thread here. Let me get a bigger one here.
So the Republican observers said they were the last people to leave State Farm Arena along with the Fox News crew, excepting those 4 people. So what you're going to see, look at the ladies in yellow. You'll see that they will begin just sitting still, doing nothing, ostensibly not working, because after all, they said they're going to stop